Look at you, T-Rex, being so patient, sporting all your Celtics swag today. We have to wait till tomorrow for the next Celtics game, but we don't have to wait to go out the door anymore. Sorry it took so long, Rex. I've been busy staring at the beautiful weather from inside and sleeping in. Hopefully this is the last morning that we have to come out and sweep these oak catkins off the deck. Pollen season is just about in the rear view mirror. At least the tree pollens. In my yard, a blue sky, sinking air on the south side of a sprawling low pressure system that is just stuck in place. Well, fortunately, we're getting a beautiful Saturday, second one in a row here on the mid-Cape. That dew point has come down. Dew point is only in the 50s now. Here's the surface map around 8 o'clock this morning. Temperature in the 60s. I think we're about 70 now here. And the dew point in the mid and low 50s. That is just gorgeous. Hey, Rex, let's go on the other side of the yard here because the wind is from the west, which is best, but it kind of is not very helpful for the audio. And speaking of the audio, thank you, Chris, for the advice. I turned off the stereo settings on my iPhone, hoping that when we zoom out, the audio isn't going to change. So let's zoom out to Mark's yard out there. Green grass galore. Does it still sound the same? It probably does, but I think turning off the stereo also means I'm not going to be able to hear the birds singing as well. Still work in progress. Thank you very much for the help, everybody. So the rhododendrons that were in the shade bloomed last, and they're about to go by. And what's the weather going to do? I showed that surface map. The wind in Nova Scotia and eastern Maine is still from the east, thanks to the storm that went by now 9 days ago and stalled over Newfoundland. And it's just clogging up the entire traffic of weather systems trying to cross North America and Canada, especially Canada, with the low that's in Ontario just sitting there and spinning, and it's getting colder and colder aloft. The summit of Mount Washington now is down to 39 degrees, but at least the wind is from the west, which is best, but it's raining. And the instability is great. So that means more showers and thunderstorms are developing in spots today. And we're going to see a low pressure system develop on one of these orange dashed lines. So you get the low pressure centers. That's where the rain is focused now in Canada and northern New England. Let's see, it looks like Berlin, New Hampshire picked up an inch of rain in the last 24 hours. And you have the orange dashed line. That's a surface trough convergence coming across the Great Lakes this afternoon. And then you're going to have cyclogenesis. Low pressure is going to develop on that trough, and that trough is going to turn into a new cold front, and the low is going to track right across central and southern New England tomorrow during the day. Tomorrow is the New England Longboard Surf Classic contest and party in Hull. So let's be Hull-centric here. And look at the 3 to 5 day for Hull. Oh my goodness, the temperature drops into the low 60s and upper 50s tomorrow with rain showers midday. Amazing, with a wind from the east. Come on. I don't know, you may have noticed some skepticism in my voice a few days ago when I said the wind this weekend should be offshore. Well, now the wind looks like it's going to be onshore. Let's look at the northeast region on the HRR, and there are the showers scattered around today, kind of cyclonic curvature that is counterclockwise from Maine into Canada. And then here comes the rain tonight. And it looks like there could be some heavy rain and showers, maybe a thunderstorm with some small hail. And that's cyclogenesis. The low is going to be deepening to 999 right over Rhode Island tomorrow afternoon before it pushes out and the sun returns in the afternoon, late. And the temperature goes back up. So the low temperature tomorrow in Hull could be 59 degrees right in the middle of the day. Doesn't that just figure? Sweatshirts, long pants. Well, maybe not long pants, but maybe a long wetsuit. And if we look specifically at the wind forecast, just tightening it up for southern New England, it looks almost like gale force winds from the southwest all the way up into Nantucket Sound tomorrow morning. And then if we stop it, the wind on the coast near Hingham, Scituate, off Hull, is from the east-southeast at 12 knots. Ouch. The official marine forecast from the government says winds southwest 10 to 15. You got to get the wind direction right to get the forecast right. Water temperature near 60, air temperature near 60 tomorrow with showers. And how much rain? If you take it from the HRR back to the New England region, it looks like, again, northern New England, there are a few spots that could get an inch of rain additional in some of these downpours. And the least amount of rain over the next 2 days is right along the south coast from Connecticut to Cape Cod, areas that got it just a couple days ago. So Mother Nature is trying to distribute the rainfall evenly. Is that what she's trying to do? Well, it's just how it works out. T-Rex is trying to pull me over in that direction. Who can blame her? Look at Angela's garden. It's so pretty. All right, we can go towards Angela's garden. There's the asparagus going by, but it's not done. Look at this. There's another one. If it snaps, it's good. Snap, it's good. All right, let's go to the big picture pattern now going forward for the next week or so. There's our upper low and wave of low pressure coming right across southern New England tonight and tomorrow. And then on Monday, kind of in between, but there's another kind of cold air front, especially aloft, coming in here, so shower or thunderstorm is possible. Most of us are dry. Temperatures are in the 60s for the most part. As high pressure starts to build over the Great Lakes states, you get more of a stable atmosphere that will be cooler down near the ground and warmer up in the sky. But Tuesday, we've been talking about this storm going off the mid-Atlantic states. Wednesday, there's the low south of us, and that may keep the onshore flow going here. And I'm not convinced that rain's not going to stay offshore. I think maybe there's a chance some of that rain comes north. And then we do not have a Thursday front for a change. Thursday, we've got the 570 thickness coming at us Thursday night, and Friday with a front with means back to the 80s with a wind from the southwest, if this verifies by next Thursday and Friday. Kind of opposite of where we've been with our rhythm, with Thursdays being the coldest. And then the heat is going to try and come at us at the very end here, 240 hours. I think that's around June 18th or so. And so it'll be turning from troughing to ridging in the east, perhaps, in about 10 days, perhaps. Yesterday was frustrating. Boston thought we'd have a really warm day. It only got to 70 at Logan Airport. Fitchburg yesterday was 85. It is hard if you don't get the forecast right, the wind direction right, and I'm still blaming that low pressure system that went by 8 days ago that stalled in the ocean to our east for that onshore flow yesterday in Boston. That did not look like that was going to be the case. Anyhow, so the Enmore features the ride down yesterday and going through the pollen plumes. You could see them in the air, and then getting down to Cape Cod where it looks like the little bit of rain that we had here this Thursday washed a lot of the pollen off the cars. So we do not have the pollen mud around here. We get the blue sky and a perfect Saturday. Sunburn factor of 10 down here while it's raining and cold in far northern New England. All right. How'd the audio sound? Chris, thank you very much for your help and all the comments. So much beauty in the world, including the viewers here at Out the Door, weather, and more. Getting closer to the Pine Hills, and I can see the pollen in the air above the Pine Hills, unless that's fog. No, that is most assuredly yellow air and brake lights. Going to Cape Cod on a Friday, what do you think? What is that big hole? Can't be apartments, right? Too close to the highway. That's nice sand. Oh, that is beautiful. There are the Pine Hills. There are the brake lights.
Start listening. iHeartRadio.
Cape Cod.
Free never sounded
Just made it through all the pollen. Now there's a cloud. By me. You notice something about these cars? They're not all coated in yellow. The air is cleaner on Cape Cod because there was about a half-inch of rain here yesterday. Woohoo! It was an occluded front that went through here, a triple point low and warm front yesterday, so never really had a cold front. So tonight, it's the cold front, maybe tomorrow. 82 in South Yarmouth. Now on Route 28 Dennis, that flag tells a story. It's from the south, and you can see not pollen in the air, but stratocumulus, fog, no doubt, coming into Harwichport right now. But we're not going to Harwichport. Temperature's down to the low 70s here. All right, Coming down Mayfair Road, mid 70s. I definitely can notice some yellow in the air, so the pine pollen's not done. Just had a nice rinse. Probably some pretty good yellow puddles down here. You know you're home when you see Pollen's Pond Road.
Did it in April. Go see the eclipse.
Expected bigger puddles and more yellow.
That lives up there, so
Maybe I overestimated pollen reduction here. Why is the ground not yellow? Chris? The very inner reaches of Bass River. It's called Point of Rocks. Last house. It's a nice house. And that's called Mill Pond. So this is where the striped bass come to spawn. The herring too. Well, they used to. That's what we're all about, revitalizing it. And look at that, the stratocumulus coming across Route 28. Stratocumulus, also known as fog. Reeds means that there's fresh water. So brackish meets fresh water up here in the far reaches of inland Bass River and Yarmouth Port. That fog is beelining across the bridge right now, Route 6 bridge that is. And this is the Friends of Bass River water testing team having our yearly training. I think it's the 5th year.
I don't know if it's going to even let us calibrate it.
And every year it gets a little less complicated. I think that's the goal.
Give it a second.
Yeah.
So then you want to just make sure that
We're all learning how to use these
Another
YSI
30
oxygen
seconds.
sensor
So it
things.
says ready for point.
Somebody should make a
So now you
YouTube
get
video of
into
just
that
exactly how to
calibration
do it.
button.
That would be ideal
Yep. Okay. And
because
then watch down here.
we're
Calibrate
pretty
sensor.
much all
It just successfully calibrated it.
high tech,
And it's like
things
calibrated.
easier.
Yeah, no,
So then you just hit escape to get back.
Usually when it's foggy on the south side, you can drive to the north side and find sunshine on Cape Cod, but today's a little different. There's a lot of low-level moisture. It's making it all the way across the Cape. Wow, it's perfectly sunny to the east. We should go to Ocean Edge. You look toward the south, though, there are the clouds. Low barometer is usually unstable, which means you don't usually get fog in an unstable situation, but it's just so cool because of the ocean water temperature there over Nantucket Sound and the dew point in the 60s, water temperature near 60, that the stratocu layer, very lowest levels of the atmosphere, are saturated. And then as you move off to the north, it becomes less saturated, and you almost have some altocumulus castellanus out there, and that would be the instability cloud, often a precursor to a thunderstorm. I haven't looked at the radar, but there's probably some thunderstorms in New England right now. See if we can get one on Cape Cod. That would be a pretty good trick. Over towards Orleans. Drive east for sunshine right now. In other news, did you hear what happened here last week on the beach? There was a flamingo, a real flamingo, spotted on the north side of Cape Cod, right over there at Chapin Beach. Chapin's right down there. Where's the flamingo? The locals got the beach buggies down around here. Look at that rig. We got boaters on Pollen's Pond where the cloud keeps going up and down. Kind of frustrating. Most of eastern Massachusetts is sunny. Boston didn't even make 70 today with an onshore flow. I'm still blaming that storm that went by more than a week ago. Anyhow, in search of sunshine on Cape Cod at sunset. Satellite says there's some sunshine out there somewhere. Can we find it? It's just about dark and the fog is kind of lifting a little bit, but not really. We're indecisive on whether we're going to have low-level stratocumulus or higher-level instability clouds. But that's it for tonight. Talk to you tomorrow.